Welcome again. We have another interview, this time with Jackie, but I will prefer you to introduce yourself to our auditors. Who you are, what do you do, where do you work, etc.
I'm Jackie Mubedi. I'm from Belgium, and I'm working currently at ADRA Europe, and I am the office manager there, and I like it very much. So we are here at the Youth Congress with our booth ADRA.
So you're managing the booth. We have some pictures that will be probably passing during the interview.
Yeah.
What do you do there in the booth? We have seen a wheel
Yes.
of like the wheel of the fortune, something like that. But it's not a fortune. You do something different. What do you do
Yes,
there?
actually we call it the wheel of unfortune.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, because it's all linked about to education, and in that field of education you have like barrier, you have like challenges. So you have, for example, disability. You have, for example, like the environment or child labor. How can so? And what we are asking the people is just you turn the wheel. Either you win the special prize, either you resolve or you give us a solution for those challenges. So they write down something and they put it in a box, and then we give them a gift.
You give them a gift.
Yes. So it can be a pen, it can be a T-shirt. We have many small goodies.
Some
so
goodies.
we are giving to the youth. And this is one part, but we have another part. We are explaining how an office works. An ADRA office works actually, because it's not only about going abroad, but it's also for the people, to get what the office is doing. So you have the people of the communication, you have the HR, you have the fundraisers, and all those people are working in the office. They are not going especially abroad. For the program, people are going always abroad, traveling, but you have many things to do in ADRA. Of course, this is when you're a bit older, but for the youth, we have that special program we are promoting about the volunteers, so they can volunteer for a project in ADRA.
Okay, so you are gathering ideas
Yes.
and taking names for possible volunteers.
Yeah.
So you're really exploding in a positive way the booth.
Yes. What we would like is just like you can commit in different ways, so that you can think about like practical solutions. This is with the wheel of unfortune, we call it, because these are challenges. And then with the works at ADRA, we just want to open the scope of what ADRA is actually. It's the humanitarian aid is really broad in with different jobs inside, and of course we have development, and then we have emergency, and we are also asking people to support the people in Ukraine right now.
Okay.
We have a wall, and then they can just write a word of encouragement, like a prayer or something, and they put on the wall. So this is how we want the young people to be engaged, and also to feel themselves involved in something.
Okay, so you're working as well with Ukrainian, or only with this unfortunate wheel?
Yes.
And what are the reactions that people are showing? I mean, what do they say? What do they do? What do they? A few examples of what they have written. I don't know,
Yes.
something that has surprised you, maybe.
Oh, actually, it was a surprise, because not a surprise. People they are thinking just as, okay, in the time of the pandemic, and they were just like, how can we do school? And they were like, okay, what solution can I find? But it was just not long ago, so we were really surprised. We were saying, but we had a pandemic. What were you doing? How did you cope with that? And they were, oh, okay. And they are really thinking about remote problems, and you have disability, and for them you just, oh, okay, a child can go to school. And then there was a boy, he was telling us, oh, I remember in my village we had a girl, she couldn't go to school, and one day the teacher and the entire class, they go to her house. They went to the house, and then they had the class there, because it was the teacher only going there and not the entire class. And it was a special day, so it was really, for the girl, it was just like, wow, a special day. So those kind of solutions from the youth, and that we are talking, of course, with them, and trying to explain what, well, be creative. Of course, they are really rational and non-solution, but be creative. And we have many, so we haven't read yet all of them, but we have many.
So you find it that the young people, they are very creative, so that's a good surprise, I guess.
Well, it's a house surprise. We know they are creative, but sometimes the creativity just need to be pushed a bit, and then for them to say, okay, I can imagine that situation, what I will do, or what. And there were also girls. They were saying, no, I want to find really a good solution, and they were just staying there like for 15 minutes thinking and really talking, having a dialogue between the three of them to say, okay, we need to find something really good. And it was something about early marriage and pregnancy, so it was really something that I find interesting.
So
it's only about the creativity, but
Yeah.
also the dialogue between them.
what would you expect out of this experience this week here in this Congress?
We really hope that, of course, they will be engaged in their own churches, in their own communities, to do some volunteer work, and also really be aware that the humanitarian aid is not necessarily something that you give money and then you forget about it, but it just maybe giving your time, giving your competencies, and be able to work in different fields as well, but
Okay.
just get involved somehow.
So you are actually really encouraging the people, the young people, to get involved.
Yes,
Really,
to
locally.
Locally, to really get involved in a project. Either it is another project or another, but it's just to be engaged in the community where you are living.
As a church, do you think that could be an impact, that could have an impact?
Yes, I think so, because we are seeing that, well, the young people who are engaged, they are really make the things move in their churches, and
Yeah.
this is where you see, okay, I want to get involved in that project, maybe for the refugee, and then you have older people saying, oh, this is a good idea, let's do it together, how are we going to do? And then they have ideas. For example, in Brussels, we have like 2 or 3 communities working with refugees, but it was really something coming from the youth. And then the older people, I would say, or the wiser,
Wiser.
like this, they joined the project, and now they are working together, and they are regularly working together. It's not just like one-shot program. It's just like, okay, we will do it for years, so let's really think about it and
Okay.
how we can get involved all together.
And now, since we are in this Adventist Youth Congress,
Yes.
So far, despite that you are almost the whole day by the booth,
Yes.
what are your impressions? What do you think about this? What are your feelings? What did you notice? What did you appreciate? Or what would you expect as a come out of this Congress?
I really well. It's always a good feeling to see young people. They are engaged while they are at a stage of age where everything is open. Where they were saying they have a lot of possibilities, and they can go in any direction, in any good direction, I guess. And this is where really your life. For some of them, okay, some are older and already working, but for some of them, it's really. For some of them, they got baptized because they participate to an event like this. Some 2 of our church, that was the experience. They had in the previous Congress, but here I really feel like, okay, after this pandemic, people are really happy to be together. They are really enjoy. I mean, meeting each other, talking. I've seen what I haven't seen. Maybe I was too occupied before, but people are exchanging from country to country. They are really like, okay, trying to get in contact with others. So this I really appreciate, and I've seen and I've heard. So I think it will be very good exchanges.
That's very nice. That's very nice. So Jackie, thank you so much. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
your
My
work, the
pleasure.
work that you're doing in ADRA, for being here at the booth the whole day, which is not easy. It's not easy to stand there and receiving many people, because I've seen the people queuing
Yeah.
for the will of the unfortunate.
Yeah.
And thank you for your time now for this interview.
You're welcome.
May God bless you, and may God bless your ministry.
Thank you.
Okay.